Hello friends, today we are going to start with a new topic, that is higher education system. So it's also an important topic of UGC NET exam. From here also they will ask 5 questions and each question carries 2 marks. Okay. So the subtopics today we are going to discuss are the institutions of higher education and education in ancient India, Vedic education, okay, and that is and later Vedic education. So the two topics we are going to deal today are the Vedic education as well as later Vedic education. So listen to the class. First we can discuss the syllabus, okay. After that we can start our class. So in the higher education, we are going to deal with the institutions in the early learning, that is institutions of higher learning and education in the ancient India. That is what we have said, that Vedic as well as later Vedic ages. Then evolution of higher learning and research in post-independence India. Before the independence, what all are the higher education systems existed, that we will discuss, okay. Next is Oriental, conventional and non-conventional learning programs in India. That is traditional, non-traditional, like that things. Okay. Then Eastern, Western, like that. Next is professional, technical and skill-based education. So the area, different types of educations are there. So that we have to discuss. Then next is value education and environmental education. It is a part of all the systems of education. So that is value education and environment education is there. Then policies, governance and administrations. There is different types of articles related to the education system. We have to discuss about that all things. These are the syllabus of higher education system. Okay. Next, let us start our class. Okay. Institutions of higher learning and education in ancient India. First, we are discussing about the Vedic education. Okay, Vedic education, you know the word, you might have heard about it or you know about it. It is modeled on religion. So, Vedic, it is always related to religion. Okay, Dharma. The word Dharma is related to Vedic education. They believe in Dharma and they have to do the Dharma. So, it's modeled on religion. And the teaching is through the oral as well as written. Oral is mainly happened in the Vedic education, oral teaching. Okay, then written is also there. The next is their main aim of the Vedic education is self-realization. That is, want to find the student want to find himself. That is known as self-realization of himself. It is mukti. The word mukti is related to it. Okay. Next is two aspects. Okay, two aspects related to the Vedic education is nothing. It is life and death. That is the reality of our life. That is life and the death are the main realities. Two aspects we study mainly in the Vedic education is the life and death. The philosophy is the doctrine of action, karma. We have to do our own duties. That is the main teaching of Vedic education. That is karma. We have to do our karma. Let leave all other things for the God. That is the main principle of this Vedic education. And religion, that virtues, duty. I told you about the duty, that we have to do the duty. We have heard about different kinds of duties. Duty of a student, duty of a parent, duty of a citizen, like that different duties are there. So virtues important is that you have to do your duty, let whatever thing happen, let it happen. Okay, that is the policy. So the Vedic education, it is related to religion. And then what are the visions related to it? There is perspectives and proportions. Perspectives, different aspects of a thing. Then proportion means how it is related. All these things they discuss. That is one of the vision of them. Next is physical and spiritual. They study about the physical life as well as the spiritual. How the it is related to God. Okay, how it is how the man is related to God. All these things they study in there. That is we study in the Vedic education. Okay. Then material and moral, how the man is always inclined towards the material life, and how we have to keep the moral life. All these things, there's vision about all these things is the. Then perishable and permanent. Perishable means that we lose. Okay, the man is perishable, that is we will die. Okay, and permanent means always is there. Okay, as we say about the soul and all, it is always the permanent, like this. So perishable and permanent things. So these are the four visions of Vedic education. So you must study that. Okay. Then next two broad streams in the Vedic education is Paravidya, okay. Paravidya is higher knowledge. It is about spiritual wisdom, okay. Paravidya is higher knowledge and it is about spiritual wisdom. And Aparavidya, it is lower knowledge, okay. Knowing about the world and all. That is known as Aparavidya. So there is two broad streams in, Vedic education. Next is the method of teaching. Okay, how the teacher teaches the student. It is through oral only. Oral teaching is there, and by chinta. Chinta means thinking about a matter. They will give you something to think and make them to think. Okay, that is the method. So the oral and chinta is the method they followed, and method process. How the process is going on. That's Stravana. Stravana is when the teacher told about a thing. They listen to it. Okay, Manana is they think about it, and Nididhyasana is comprehension, understanding the thing. Okay, these are the three processes going in the Vedic education. That is Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. And what are the four Vedas? That is Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. These are the four Vedas we have to study about it. So you just know about it. What are the four Vedas? Okay, I think you know about it. Still, you have to keep in your memory. Next, the fundamentals of ancient Vedic education. What are the fundamentals? What are the basic things, or what are the main things of the ancient Vedic education? Knowledge is related to life. Whatever things they study there, okay, it is related to the life. How we can live in the earth. It is always the knowledge is related to it is given to them. Then close association the teacher and student. We know that a student has to live with the teacher, and the teacher is taking classes for them, and they're sitting there and studying the things. So there's a close association between the teacher and the student. It's like a affection for the teacher as well as for the student. Next is development in social work. That is, they have to work in the society. All these things they will study there. Then vocational training means they are trained to live some. That is, the basic skills are teaching for them. So vocational training is given to them. These are the fundamentals of ancient Vedic education. Next is curriculum. What type of curriculum they follow? That is oral teaching. And that is we told about it. Oral teaching, we know that the teachers tell about the things, they chant the things, the chanting of mantras. Chanting, you know, they say it again, again, and again. That is known as chanting. They study the mantras by chanting it again and again, and they just mug it up. Next is they study the grammar. Okay, they study the grammar. Then rhetoric, you know, speech, how to do a speech. Astrology, it is related to the stars and all. We know that. Next is logic, thinking about a thing, that is known as logic. Nirukti is knowing about a word, the different expressions of a word, that is known as Nirukti. So studying all these things is a part of the curriculum of Veda. Okay. Then what are the main characteristics, or what are the main things we can see in the Vedic education? First one is Upanayana. You must know that this I have asked in the UGC NET exam. So in Vedic education, there is Upanayana or initiation. That is before the admission to the education system. There is a celebration to entry of the student. It is known as Upanayana. The student has to go through a process known as Upanayana or initiation. Okay, it is before the admission. That is starting point is known as Upanayana. Okay, then Dvija or ties bond. It is considered when you started studying the Vedas, it's considered as Dvija. Dvija means second born. Then they has to be brahmacharis, or celibacy is very needed in the case of studying all these things. Okay, next is brahmavadinis. Brahmavadini means woman. If the student is a girl or a woman, then they are known as Brahma Vadinis. Okay, you must know that women education that is known as Vadinis. Next, the main universities at that time is Takshila, Kanchi, and Ujjain. Takshila, Kanchi, and Ujjain are the main universities during the Vedic education. So I think you get an idea about the Vedic education. Okay, now after the Vedic education, there come a later Vedic education. So there come some kind of changes. We can see what all of that is. It is based on Upanishad. Here we see that they are shifting of the education system from that to a new area. That is now in the later Vedic age, we can see that the students mainly study the Upanishads. Okay, and the caste system came during the later Vedic age. In the later Vedic age only the caste system developed. Till that there is no caste system. Then the main aim of later Vedic age is salvation of soul. Okay, here the aim has changed. It is a salvation of the soul to get mukti. Okay, to get the people has to after the death, the soul has to get the salvation. That is the aim of the later Vedic age. Then Brahma Varchana, the knowledge of absolute. Brahma Varchana, that is the knowledge of the absolute means God. It is the importance in the case of later Vedic age. And what is the method of instruction? That is main three principles are there. One is hearing, thinking, and meditation. Hearing means they listen from the teacher, they think about it, and they started meditating about it. Okay, so here thinking and meditation is the three methods of they are using the. And here also method of instruction is oral only. Oral way of teaching only we can see here, and written also a little bit we can see the. And it is teacher centered. Okay, the education system, I mean later Vedic is teacher centered only, and it is Gurukulas. Here onwards we can see the Gurukulas is in the very strong form. That is that the student has to live with the teacher, and the teacher gave all kinds of work inside their home. They have to do. The students have to do. They are like the son or the daughter, and they have to live there until their education has to be completed. Okay, that is the method, and they have to hear from the teacher all the what all they have to study, and they think about it, they meditate about it, and they study it. Okay, they chant and study about it. Then what are the characteristics? Okay, what are the characteristics of later Vedic age? It is a 12 years to study. They have to study 12 years of study. That is the main. We have to know about it. In later ages, it became 12 years to study to complete the Vedic education. Next is Samavartana ceremony. Samavartana ceremony is a convocation. After the 12 years, they gave a convocation in which they say that the child is now educated. Okay, that's a convocation, and the name of the convocation is Samavartana ceremony. Okay. Next is Guru Parampara. Guru Parampara means when the teacher is there, and that teacher decided the main student should be the next successor as the teacher. Okay. So succession of the teacher, that is known as Guru Parampara. Okay. Then institutions. What are the institutions at that time in the later Vedic age? That is Gurukulas. I told you earlier itself. That is the student has to live with the teacher, and the teacher consider the student as their own children, and like that they have to live there. Okay. Next is Parishats. Parishats means academies, a place to sit and study. That is Parishats is the Sammelans. The later of conferences is there. They have to get a lot of ideas from different kinds of people of different knowledge came there in the conferences, and from there they will get a lot of knowledge to the students. And another characteristic is caste system. That is, we heard about the caste system. It only come from later Vedic age only. So I think you get an idea about the Vedic as well as later Vedic age. Don't forget to subscribe this channel. Then only you will get my uploading videos. I will give you all the materials needed for your UGC NET exam. You don't forget to subscribe, share it to others. Then you will get all my videos. Okay. Then study well all these topics I am giving to you, because these are very important for the UGC NET exam. We can meet in the next class. Goodbye.